And we are recording with my brother from Kosovo, Mr. Princ Blakaj, on Thursday, July 13th, 2023 at 5:08 p.m. Eastern Time. Princ and I we met in, I'll let Princ tell the story. Princ and I met in summer 2014 working security for a crazy man I love named Angelo, and we've stayed in touch since then. And Princ now lives in the United States and really is the embodiment of the American dream. And I think you and I think we chatted like last year when we were gonna do a show, and I don't know, I screwed up or something. But now we finally have it together, and Princ and I are gonna do a lot of shows. But for anyone that listens to this show knows that there are kind of two stories I often fall back on, and it's my buddy Princ, yours truly, and my buddy Ivan, who I met 3 years prior, pretty much across the street at Secrets in Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah.
And I know both of y'all. I remember you guys coming here and working these minimum wage jobs, working insane hours, and you guys would have your English is perfect now, very like broken English when I met you guys, and trying to get a green card, and then years later getting citizenship, and just seeing how. And I used to, I mean, I remember telling my parents, I would go home and I'd be like, I don't think I ever realized how good we have it in the United States. And I've always cherished my experiences and
Yeah.
friendships with you and Ivan, because it makes me realize just how fucking great I have it in this world and in this country. But instead of hearing me say that, I want people to hear directly from you. So for anyone that listens to this show, they always hear me talking about my buddy Princ. Well, here is my buddy Princ. So Princ, introduce yourself and then take it in any direction you want to.
What's up, everyone? Very nice to meet you all. And my name is Princ. My last name is Blakaj. I'm from Kosovo. I'm 30 years old, and I was born in 1993. So it was a very hard time it was a very hard time in Kosovo when I was born. I will thank my buddy Tommy for inviting me in this podcast, and I will thank every viewer that takes the time to watch us. And I'm so grateful to be able to be here, and I'm very grateful that I can share part of my life or part of my life story with you guys. Again, I gonna say sorry in the beginning for my English. It's
Oh,
not the
shut up.
perfect one.
It's perfect. It's perfect. It's wonderful and it's beautiful, Princ.
And another thing is, it's my first time ever being recorded or being in the camera. It's my first podcast, so please understand me if I get a little bit emotional. Sorry,
Yeah, you're
everyone.
good. You're good, man. You're good.
With my buddy Tom, I met in 2014 in Ocean City, Maryland. I was doing a work and travel program, and I think Tom was a blessing that I met, because he teach me a lot about life, and all his family like took care of me, and they fed me, and they gave me clothes. I still have some running shoes Tom gave me like 9 years ago. So during that time I really needed someone to take care of me, like not to take care of me, but just to be there, and Tom and his family was there. So I'm so glad Tom is doing good that time, because I'm so glad that Tom is doing good now, because that time he just came from bad things that happened to his
Yeah.
family.
For
And
everyone that's listening, I met Princ about 3 months after my brother took his life. And
bravo.
I mentioned my
Yes.
brother's suicide all the time on the show,
Yes.
but I met Princ, I mean, probably less than 100
Mm.
days later. So I met Princ right at the beginning of
Yes.
really the worst time of my life.
Yes, and for me, that was showing me that how much courage you have to have, how strong you have to be, and you don't need very much just to be a good person to overcome everything else. Like the same thing with his father, the same thing with his mother. That is amazing. I love Trish, and that time they had that small little dog with all like, and I
Oscar.
remember the Oscar Bravo. And Patrick, my buddy Patrick, that I love a lot. And yeah, I don't know. Tom is a blessing for me, and his family is a blessing for me. So I never forget them.
We love you too, Princ. And as I was telling Princ before, I told my mom last night, I was like, I'm having on Princ tomorrow. And I could hear my dad tell Princ we say hi. We love you too, man. It's the blessing is two ways, man. I mean, it's for you, I mean, I always tell this story. It's like I remember, yeah, I'd give you some of like my lunch that my mom would pack, and to me,
Bravo.
it was just whatever. It was just, yeah, I got some extra food, and I remember you
Yeah.
would hug me. You'd be like, you are my brother, and to me, that meant the world to me because, I'm complaining, I'm working at a minimum wage job. This is gay. And here I have Prince fucking giving me a bear hug because I gave him half of a sandwich. And you really made me grateful in a way that I had never been grateful before. And so, I mean, the blessing really is two ways, man.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so glad you say that, and I'm so happy you say that because I haven't seen you in 9 years, bro.
I know, man.
So
I know. Yeah,
it's a long time. It's a long time. It's a
hell
long
yeah.
time.
Um,
Yeah.
So let's get into the because I know that's that's where I mean primarily you and Ivan are the two guys to stay in touch with, but I mean I met a ton of guys that summer, Christo and I remember meeting him and all these guys they did kind of Bulgaria, Kosovo, kind of that same general, if you will,
Yeah.
region. What is work?
Southeastern Europe.
Yeah. So it's just it's a work program to come over here.
Yeah, that program it calls a work and travel program. So students get to are able to come to America, work in the same time, and also travel around America. And that's what I did in 2014. But that was another thing that when I came in, I fell in love with America, and I had to come back. So I went back in Kosovo. I lived there. I finished school. I used to be a physical therapist back in Kosovo, and I finished school. I used to be involved in sports, and that's because of Tommy, because he got me the shoes, the blue Nikes. And I was involved in basketball. I used to be a physical therapist for the Kosovo basketball team, and I used to work with some American companies, and we used to do a lot of things all over Texas, and used to do a lot of things all over Balkans with basketball, with physical therapy, with treatment of the players, with preconditioning the players to not get injured. And I don't know if I'm saying it in the right words, but
No, you're
still,
fine.
who
Yeah.
understands it understands it. And yeah, that's all. And that's how I fell in love with America. I came here, enjoyed America, stayed here for 4 months, and then went back. I just needed that much to meet Tommy, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, a match made in heaven, and it's what stuck out with you, and a couple of years prior with Ivan, and it's really what used to drive me when I was in college and I was studying to get into medical school. I'd always think about you and Ivan, and I would think, we would work a 12-hour shift, and then I would finish and be like, I'm gonna go home now, and you guys would change shirts and go to another job, and I would go, oh, man, I'm so sorry for you motherfuckers. And you guys would be like, it's an opportunity. And it was really, you always hear it, be grateful for what you have, but actually meeting, guys my age and we could relate to when we were friends and, we're yelling at girls and, fighting drunk kids. And that would always stick with me that it's an opportunity. It's not a burden, it's an opportunity. And you guys would always say things just like, like just how great America is. And
It is.
and and it's and it always and it's I mean it's why I have no shame, keeping it oh you're a nationalist. Yeah, you're goddamn right I am, because
You
I
have to
always
be.
bring it up because I know guys like Prince and Ivan, and they made me realize just how fucking lucky I am to live in this place.
Uh, you have to be a nationalist, or you have to be a patriot, saying it with a better way. Like, you have to love your country. I love my country, Kosovo and Albania, a lot. Like, but I have the opportunity to love my country, Kosovo, because of America. Whoever doesn't know the story of Kosovo, I gonna tell you the story of Kosovo in bright words right now. So Kosovo, it's a small country in southeastern Europe, in the Balkans over there. It used to be ex-Yugoslavia, and where 95% of the people in Kosovo, that they live in Kosovo, they are Albanians. So we, Albania and Kosovo, used to be one land, but because of the wars, because of the Turkish Empire, because of the Serbs, because of the Germans, like the whole country got splitted. So you have more Albanians living outside Albania that they live inside Albania. So you have Kosovars, the Kosovars of Albanian Kosovars that they live in their own country. You have Albanians that live in Macedonia. You have Albanians that live in Montenegro, and you have Albanians that live in Greece, and they live in Serbia. And you also have like more than a million Albanians that live in the United States, but in the United States and in the diaspora in general. So Kosovo used to be repressed for 100 years from the Serbs, from the Serbish Empire. What happened during the 80s and during the 90s? A dictator called Slobodan Milosevic came in and wanted to kill everyone. He started to beat everyone up. He started to close schools. He started to do a ethnic cleansing. So he wanted to put everybody out of Kosovo because he wanted to have a Yugoslavia or a greater Serbia, a big Serbia. And that's how the war started. Like we tried to have like diplomatic relations. Like we tried to talk to them. We tried to solve this problem in diplomatic way by talking, by doing negotiations and everything, but it didn't work with them. Like we tried to have our own parties. They didn't let us have our own political parties. So Milosevic became a true dictator. He became a far right dictator that was going very close to Hitler. He did the massacres. He did massacres in Bosnia. He did a war with Croatia. He did a war with Slovenia. Everybody had a problem with that guy. And after a while, we started to fight ourselves, and then we created the army called the KLA in English, and we started fighting Milosevic. But that army didn't have any weapons. We didn't have anything, and that army was built from few thousand people. What happened? Milosevic started to do massacres like the Rechak massacre. He started to do another massacres all over Kosovo, and he started to push people outside Kosovo, and I don't know how to say it in English, but to get them out of Kosovo and get them to other states. Like the whole Kosovo became refugees.
Okay.
But what we was blessed in one thing, we had some friends in the American Congress and in the American House of Representatives or wherever. I don't know how you call this.
Yeah,
And
you got it.
we had some friends like one of our great friends was Bob Dole. If you ever heard about him, Bob Dole, he passed away a couple years ago. I think 3 years ago. He was one of the guys, or Bush, the old Bush. He started to talk about Kosovo, and Bob Dole came and visited Kosovo in 1991 and showed the world what's happening in Kosovo. And no, the Kosovo situation started to become international. And in the same time, we was fighting the war ourselves in the ground. And then in 99, we had the first intervention of NATO in Kosovo, that they bombed the shit out of Serbia and made Slobodan Milosevic retreat from Kosovo and freed Kosovo. So this is why in Kosovo you have Kosovo. This is why in Kosovo you have people that love America. It's not just love to say it, I love America. You know, like you can hear American here or somebody else say it, love America. But in Kosovo, it's like deep feelings about America. In Kosovo, you have like a statue of Bill Clinton, you have a statue of Mildred Albright, you have statue of George Bush, you have statues of all these guys that did something about Kosovo. Like you have so much appreciation in Kosovo about America that it's I don't know, I cannot find the words to describe it, but this, because America helped us. They brought in the Air Force, they people like Tommy or you guys that are listening, they spend it your tax money, but they spend it your tax money that somebody like me be alive today. Or my father that used to be a journalist. Like my father before 99 never was free. So he turned 40 and he never had the feeling of freedom in his life. Do you imagine what it is? I don't understand, like I don't know how to explain this. Like, do you imagine what it is to be repressed for 40 years? 40 years to not be able to say the things you want to say, 40 years to not be able to listen to things you want to listen. And we got this freedom. We got the opportunity to be a democratic country because of America. So this is America. For whoever doesn't understand it, that is non-American. He said, "Hey, what is he talking about?" It is because I live free today. My family live free. They live free today. My friends live free because of America, because of the intervention of the Air Force in Kosovo. So yeah, this is the war part of Kosovo, and this is why we love America.
Yeah, I'm trying. My eyes are getting watery right now. I've only ever cried on this podcast once, and that was episode 82. We're talking about my brother. It's been almost 1,200 episodes, so I don't know if I will. Well, let's challenge my own beliefs, right? I've gone back and forth. I've interviewed refugees from Ukraine, and on one hand, I'm very open where part of me goes, I feel like this is a military industrial complex cash grab, but then I talk to someone like you and my love and respect for you. How can I sit here and earnestly say that and anyone that watches this podcast knows I've been very open. I feel like
I know, I've been
yeah,
hearing you. I
I feel
know
like
your beliefs on the
I
war.
feel
Yeah.
like we shouldn't, but then I've talked to a guy named Igor from Ukraine and another guy, Alex, and now I'm talking to you, and it's a humbling moment where it's like, am I gonna really sit here from your father didn't experience for 40 years. I've known nothing but freedom for 32 years, and loving family, nothing but
Yes.
opportunity. I I have the luxury of getting into medical school and then saying, no, I don't want to do that. And now I have to sit here and look you in the eyes and try to tell you that we shouldn't fund Ukraine, and I fucking can't. I
Like
can't
no,
I
but
can't look you in
no,
the eyes
no.
and say that.
I understand. No, I understand. But I think you have the right to challenge your
Sure,
views how
sure,
the
sure,
government spends their money. Like, it's your right. This is
sure.
freedom. This is democracy. This is why you have the right to be able to talk about this. And I want to listen to you. I always listen to you. I don't always agree
Sure.
with the beliefs you have. I know your opinions on the war in Ukraine. I know the opinions about the right media and or
Hmm.
left media or whatever. But still, we have to be able to listen to each other. This is what America stands for. This is what freedom stands for, to be able to challenge these opinions, like to challenge the war, why they miscalculated the expenses for the weapons, why it has to happen, something like that. I'm completely agree with you in the fact that you want to challenge that,
Okay.
and I would do it the same way. So you don't have to stop not believing because you see me. I'm gonna tell my part of the story,
Yeah.
the part that not a lot of people in America know about, because I believe that um, they see other people, for example, in the Middle East, where they don't think the right way about America, or you see people in Asia where they don't think right thing about America, or they say America is imperialist or whatever the communist countries say, but still Do America has problems? Yes, it does, a lot of them.
Yeah.
But is it the greatest country in the world? 100% is not enough. You know, like 1,000%, million% is the greatest country in the world. Do I listen? For me, for example, I hear people talking about politics a lot.
Sure.
Somebody's with Trump, somebody's with Biden, somebody's
Sure.
with that, somebody. You know that I love a president. I love the American president, whoever it is. I don't care, bro, who it is. I just want the president to be American.
Yeah.
That's a whole story about me because I believe one thing. I believe, and I believe very strongly, and I do debates about this. If America loses the democracy, like if America cannot be democratic anymore, the whole world is not going to be democratic.
Yeah.
America keeps the democracy in the world. It's the keeper of democracy. Like however they do it, they keep democracy in the world. Otherwise, every country would have a dictator, would have a communist party, would have something like that, like Putin, like Xi Jinping or whoever it is, or Kim Jong Un, or Erdogan, or Obran, or whoever it is. You understand what I'm trying to say? This is my belief. So this is why I trust America a lot, and this is why I believe in America a lot.
To comment on what you said, a brilliant is, no, you have a right to challenge your government. You have a right to challenge where the money's going. And you said, and don't change it just because I'm sitting here with you, Tommy. But the thing is, well, I have to. I've almost done 1,300 episodes. My views often change because the people I get to talk to face to face. It's not a book. It's not something on TV. It's someone telling me their story, and it does change. And it's you're not a variable I can just brush aside. You're something I have to look at and go, like, Jesus Christ, this is real. You're a real person. And does that mean we should stop questioning? Never. We should question our involvement in Kosovo, right? Everything. Vietnam, whatever.
Ask
That
about
that
it.
that is that is
Talk
the
about
tenet
it.
of, yeah, that is the correct talk about it. But it does, and I'm sure most of my right-wing fans on Rumble won't like it, but it does give me pause to say, how can I cherish my friendship and wisdom I've learned from Prince, and then in the same day talk about how we shouldn't, are people making money off Ukraine? Of course. Does that mean that there isn't a Prince and that there isn't a Prince's dad? And yeah, man, that it's I have to admit some humility. It's
No, no, no. I don't want you to feel
no,
humiliated.
no, no,
Like,
no, no, no,
please,
Prince.
like
I
this is
no. This
this.
is my favorite part of the podcast is when
All
I
right.
feel humility. Trust me, Prince. If I didn't like what you're doing, I'd kick you off the fucking show. I'd delete your number. Fuck off, Prince. Prince is about 2 feet taller than me, but I'll find you. I'll come kick your ass. I'll take those fucking sneakers back, Prince. Don't think I'm
Oh
getting
yeah.
soft on you, motherfucker. I'll beat the shit out of you. Me and Angela will come find you.
No, Angela is Albanian, so don't try to beat the
Actually, no, Angela will probably take your side. Angela and Elio will take yours. I'll get my ass stomped right out in front of
You
knock
got some
apartments.
guys in secrets over there.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'll get my ass kicked by some Eastern Europeans, but
Yeah.
no, man, it does. It's no, no. I'm just speaking. I'm not saying this because I'm speaking aloud. It
Yeah.
brings humility, and I have to. For me personally, it's a growing experience to admit humility on the podcast. We've all been wrong before, and no
Yeah.
one wants to admit it. For
Yeah.
me, there's something about doing it on a podcast where I know it's recorded and I know people are looking at it, and it forces me to really own up to the humility. And I think it makes me a better person. So this is also a personal growth thing for me when I have to admit that I'm fucking wrong. So I'm not doing it because of you, Prince. I'll kick your ass. It's
Okay.
it's bigger.
Okay.
Um, but let's pivot from there, and let's just go back to, so you come over, you work in 2014, you go back. How did that road? So we'll just call it fall 2014, 2015. What road brought you to where we are now?
Yeah, when I went back, like I went back with a lot of experience, with a better English after 4 months, and like I had the opportunity to meet a lot of people and to get a lot of experiences around America, and I was able to buy books and I was able to buy a lot of nice things, and that helped me out because I still wasn't graduated, so I started to take school very serious, and I started like to learn a lot and to read a lot, and I started to read in English because I learned it English before I came here. I didn't know very much English, so America helped me in general to become a better person first, like a better person, because I understood that, like, you have people like your family or other families I meet over here, and they just help me out, and they just didn't know me or anything, but they just wanted to do that. They just was good people. Another thing, I became a better student because I told you, because of my English, and that helped me. That helped me to be a good physical therapist after a while, because I made the difference with the in American literature in physical therapy, the studies they did here, and everything was updated, everything was nice. So I became a pretty good physical therapist. I think about that. I think like that about myself. So so I started to work for a clinic back in Pristina, in capital of Kosovo, and then my paths crossed with another American, and a great guy. His name is Chris Dial. I haven't speak with him in couple years, but I always own him and always remember him as one of the guys that got me into basketball, because he was a basketball coach from San Antonio, Texas, in Kosovo. So he was working for the Basketball Federation as a youth trainer. And he was doing like U14, U16, U18, whatever, all the youth.
Yeah.
And he had a big program in his company called the basketball embassy. Everybody should look it up. That guy is great. And yeah, he got me into basketball, and from basketball I got the opportunity to travel all over the world, if you want to say it like this, because I got the opportunity to go in countries that I usually wouldn't go, like Hungary. Why I would go to Hungary, or go to Gibraltar, or go to places like this that you don't get the opportunity. And then traveling, it opens you up. I think it teach you a lot of things. It teaches you different cultures, and you understand that how important it is to be able to travel. Because during that time, Kosovo didn't have the visa liberalization, so we couldn't move outside Kosovo. Like, we had to get a visa for everywhere we wanted to go, and yeah, and this is how this American guy called Chris Dial. Thank you, Chris, wherever you are, if you ever see this, and helped me out a lot. But in the same time, I opened my own clinic in Kosovo with a friend. I think you met him. His name is Fatlind.
I
I don't
think
know if
so.
you remember him. Yeah, I think you met Fatlind. And I opened up a physical therapy clinic with him, and then we was doing that. I was doing a lot of private work. I was doing a lot of basketball, and then I had the opportunity to go to Orlando of the Lake University in San Antonio, Texas, to be able to work with their basketball teams. And we had the basketball embassy organized a camp up here, so that was my opportunity to go and work with Americans, like in my field in physical therapy. And I learned a lot from that. I learned, and in the same time, I got a lot of books that I had the opportunity to bring home. So that helped me. And after that, we continued working, and that's it. Then I met my girlfriend that time, Albina, and we was planning to come to America. We had the opportunity to come to America because I was working a little bit with the embassy, a little bit too, And then we got the opportunity to come here. We made the decision that we're gonna move to America, me and Albina. When we moved to America, we went to Lake Tahoe, California. We lived there like for 6 months. That was amazing. Like
Yeah.
Lake Tahoe, whoever doesn't know Lake Tahoe, it's
Beautiful.
amazing place in Sierra Nevada over here with the border with Nevada and California, Northern California, close to Reno or between Reno and Sacramento over there. What's amazing, amazing. Probably one of my favorite places in the world after Ocean City, but and we lived there for 6 months, but after 6 months we started to get bored because summer was nice, but winter coming in, it gets a lot of snow, and I'm not really a big fan of snow in general. And yeah, we got me and Albina. My wife's name is Albina, by the way. And me and Albina moved to New York because in New York it's the biggest Albanian community here in the Bronx.
Okay.
It's like if you don't know Albanian in the Bronx, you get lost. And we came here because we had some family here. In the same time, we had a lot of friends, and you have Albanian food because wherever you go, you miss your food, your kind of food.
Hmm.
So we decided to come here. My Albina is a hairdresser and makeup artist, so she started working with a lady called Albona and Valentin. That guys was amazing because they helped us out with the car. They did like in our life we was very, very fortunate. Do I
Fortunate.
say it right? Fortunate
Fortunate. Yeah.
to meet people like this. So they helped us a lot in our journey. And I started to work in restaurant business, what I love. I love to be a waiter. I love to talk to people. I love to tell my story. I love to tell my Albanian, my heritage story, and I just liked it a lot. So yeah, I worked a lot in restaurant. Used to manage the steakhouse, and yeah, that was one of the great things I used to do. I used to like and to like doing. After a while, like I wanted to make more money, and I went to a transportation business. So I started driving truck myself after a while, and then I bought a couple of trucks and started to hire drivers and everything. And that's what we correctly do. We have a transportation business. We transport things all over America, starting from the Apple iPhones to watermelons from Florida or from Texas. So that's what correctly do. I have a very ambitious business plan about the restaurant, thinking about that. We're gonna do something or here or in Texas because I think Texas it's a nice state for business.
Hmm.
No, it's a very nice state for business, and I think it's a state that started booming, and it's gonna continue booming for a while. So to get the upper hand over there. But we're planning to do a lot of things like, and yeah, that's what's happening so far.
Prince, you haven't stopped climbing since I met you. I mean, obviously, no, most noticeable is your English is perfect, and I mean, but just the amount of work, man, is just it's inspiring. It's what makes me work my fucking ass off. Is you didn't just get here and go, I made it to America. Now you're like, now we're gonna start delivering, buying trucks. We're gonna move. We're gonna. I mean, you really are. I mean, dude, you're more American than most Americans. And to me, it's genuinely inspiring, man.
Thank you for saying that, but I still believe the Americans are the hardest working people in the planet because like no hardest working. We have the Mexicans, they do more hours,
Sure.
but I feel the Americans are the most hard. No offense to anyone, please, but Americans are the most hardest working intelligent people in the planet. Like, can I rephrase it like this?
Sure.
Like Americans, like I go in the Midwest over there, and I feel the Midwest of America is the heart of America. That's where the patriots come from. I feel that's where the people that love America come from. No offense, everywhere there are patriots. Like they just my. But still, like, I feel and I see that that guy's hustling every day, and Americans are hustlers. They work, they pay their taxes, and they make this country great. This country, it's great, and it's been always great. Like, please don't forget this. Like, it is a great country. And yeah, like, America gives the opportunity to do everything. But I think one thing I have more than everybody else, that I overwork everyone. In everything I do, I overwork everyone, and this is, I think, one of the reasons of success in America.
Hmm.
You have to overwork everyone else, every competition.
You got to outwork them all.
So
You got to just dial
yeah,
it up.
yeah, outwork. Like, if they work 8 hours, you're gonna work 16. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like, that's how you claim your
It is.
success. So,
It
like,
is. It is. It's how I operate in everything I do. Everyone always asks me, how come you don't just do one episode a day? I'm like, because other people do one episode a day. So I'm gonna fucking do three. I mean,
three.
you have to take it and go, what is my avenue for success, right? So it's like Prince. Prince, how tall are you? You're like 7 feet tall. How tall are you?
I'm 6'4".
6'4". It's basically 7 feet, right? If I try to play Prince in basketball, Prince is going to kick my ass. What I can do is I can go, all right, I'm not going to grow anymore. What I can do is, okay, I can lift weights. I can practice sprints. I can practice dribbling. These are the avenues in which I'll beat Prince. I'll never be taller than Prince. I'm never going to get rebounds I'm never going to out rebound him. What I can do is I can find other avenues and I can excel in those. And it's going to require a lot of work. And that's always been my MO for work. Is I'm not the smartest person, but if I want to get into medical school, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to study twice as long as everyone else. And that is, and we overlook that a lot. We just say, yeah, just work harder. Well, in a lot of places, you don't even have the opportunity to do that. You don't have the freedom to say, I'm going to go pursue something and work harder. I'm going to just dial
And
it up to 11.
this is the communist countries. This is
Yes.
China. This is Russia. This is, if we want to say, no, we cannot say India, but still Iraq or
Sure.
Afghanistan or places like this. That this is, we sometimes we look at, hey, China is overcoming us, blah 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 blah. I hear all these conversations, but China is not example to look at. It's
Hmm.
not an example to look at. Trust me. Trust me. I think all the presidents and even the correct president are doing a great job on China. The one stopped trading with them. The other one correctly is surrounding them, like they built military bases
Mm-hmm.
all over the Indo-Pacific Ocean over there, like in Indo-Pacific Ocean. Like,
Mm-hmm.
China is effed. China is effed. Very sorry, whoever doesn't agree with me, but this is America, strongest nation on the world, bro.
And it's so I want to kind of maybe come to like another point. And
Yeah,
I'm lucky in that I've met you, and right, and I know Ivan, and I've always been a hard worker, but when I meet you guys, I feel even more just confident in my convictions. When guys like
yeah,
you, right, you come to the United States, it makes you, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, so you can disagree with me if you want, but when you get here and you realize how great it is, the next step is, well, one, you want to work hard and succeed in it, right? But I imagine the step after that would be, and you want to make sure nothing bad ever comes to it. You want to work to defend this place. Is that accurate? That
yeah,
you want this place to persist?
100%. Like if you hear every immigrant in this country, like I'm talking mostly about the Albanian immigrants, that guys I know more. Like, everybody loves this country. Everybody is appreciates this country, and everybody wants to work hardest as it can to be integrated in this country, to become American, to become a true American. Like, the second or third generation all become Americans, that they're not Albanians. Like, yeah, no, they keep the Albanian heritage, like they keep the traditions and everything, but they become American. We don't, like, Albanian immigrants don't come to challenge America, to make America different. We come America because become in America because it is America. Like, we don't try to challenge America to get America to be socialist. Like, because if I wanted to live in a socialist country, in a good way, socialist country, please understand me, I would go to Sweden, to Norway. Like, you have the places like that where you have $2,000 a month wage, but you have free healthcare, you have free schools, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, this is the part of the migration that you choose where you want to go, or you decide where you want to go. So if I want something like that, I go to Sweden, but I wanted capitalism. I wanted to be to 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 race with everyone. I don't know. It's not the right word. It's not coming in my mind, but to race with to
to compete.
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 Yes, I want to compete with everyone, because competition makes me better. Like, like, and this what makes the whole competition thing makes the whole country like this.
Hmm.
And there are some beliefs that you have in America that you cannot find. Beliefs. I don't know if the right word is beliefs, but you have some things that you can find only in America. And this is to be competitive, to be able to work hard, to be able to live freely, to be able to do whatever you like inside the country. And yeah, just to be. And Americans are not racist towards, like, in general, they're not racist. Like,
Sure.
you don't have. I don't feel racism myself, probably. I don't know, like, I just can talk about myself, but every
Sure.
opportunity I wanted to do, like, I was able to do it, and nobody told me anything that I have a broken English, or I come from somewhere else and I cannot do it. So, like, you don't find this in Europe. You don't find this if you move to Europe, or even if you move to anywhere else besides Australia. I think Australia is a little America
Hmm.
with beliefs.
Yeah. And it's
Mm.
it's it's that, and I think that I forget who it's by. It might be Thomas Edison, it might be Carnegie. I don't remember, but there's a great quote, and it's most people miss out on opportunity because it's disguised as hard work. And we look at things and
Mm.
we go, "Oh, that's a lot of work. I'm not going to do it." But and this is what I think always drives me to work hard. So like I go to the gym in the morning because to me, I make the gym very difficult. So the rest of the day is easy because I
Yeah,
got the hard part. Doing podcasts,
yeah,
that's fine, man. Answering emails, that's fine. At least I'm not
mm.
doing push-ups. I'm out of breath. Right. So it makes
Yeah.
the rest of the day easy. So, but to me, I've always looked at you and Ivan as sort of my workouts in that you guys make it very clear how grateful we are to simply have the opportunity to work hard. Once you get the opportunity, then you just got to work hard. That's the easy part. But for people like myself that grew up here and have never known anything but America, we take opportunity as a given. And thus we look at
Granted.
working hard as we go, well, I don't want to work hard. Versus you and Ivan get here and you go, I only have to work 18 hours a day. You're like, fuck yeah. And to me, I'm like, oh, I have it.
But that's called immigrant mentality too.
Yes, yes, but
Don't
that but
forget
that
that.
that is America, though.
Yeah.
That's the very thing. That's not
Yeah.
separate from America. That is the core of America. It's the
Core.
immigrant mentality. Is the motherfuckers like y'all that come here and work. Not. I used to see Prince. We'd work 12 hours. I'd go home. I'd come back and see Prince the next day, and he'd be changing out of another work shirt, and he hadn't gone to bed yet. And I remember one time, man. I remember one time you were standing there. We were on the boardwalk, and you're kind of like swaying back and forth. And you're like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I was like, all right, man. I kind of like kept an eye on you. And finally, me and Elio were like looking at each other. I was like, yo, is Prince all right? And Elio and I, we fucking talked about this like 2 years ago. And you looked and you're like, I haven't eaten in so long. And I was like, fuck. So I was like, Elio, go get him some pizza. And he came back with like 2 slices of pizza. And I just remember you took a bite of it and you like grabbed Elio and I both, you put your hand on your shoulders and you were like, I love you. I love you. And Ellie
I
and I
don't
were like,
remember
yo,
that.
yo, we were like, yo, what the fuck? And you were like, it was even that was just like you had worked so hard, your body was shutting down, and you were
No, no,
like, I will never forget this pizza. And I was like, Prince, it was like $2. Don't worry about it. You were like, I will repay you, my brother. And I was like, dude, but that like that is the immigrant mentality, man.
Yeah. No, but still, it's not good to say not to not eat. Don't forget
No,
because
no, don't
we
forget to
always
eat. No,
not
no, that's
able to
bad.
eat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you should
don't
eat. That
forget to
was
eat. That's a bad thing. Like
yeah,
every immigrant should eat. Please, please,
yeah. Even
please
immigrant
do eat.
mentality, you still need food.
Yeah, you still need food. But the other thing, like I didn't have the time to go because you
Well, that's the
remember
other.
the
Yeah,
pizza shop, you used to get the pizzas there.
yeah.
What was it? Pizza boy,
Pizza
pizza
boy,
boy.
pizza boy. Yeah,
Pizza boy. I go visit him every year. I go
yeah,
to Ocean City. I
yeah,
go every year to Ocean City. By the way,
yeah,
I don't miss a year.
yeah, yeah. Pizza
And
boy. Yeah, they got the white
yeah,
pizza. Yeah,
I go visit that guy. That guy is from New Jersey
yeah,
somewhere,
yeah, yeah.
and
No,
they
I
moved
forget
to
his name. No, I saw him like 2 years ago. I worked for Angelo in 2018. That was like 5 years ago.
yeah.
Shit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Fucking
and I
pizza
went.
boy.
That guy. I had everything free in that shop. Like that guy was amazing. I
That guy
had
was incredible. Rob. Is it
everything.
Rob?
Rob,
Yeah,
bravo, bravo. Yes,
yeah.
that guy
I love
told
him.
me, come eat whenever you like. Everything is free for you. Like I used to eat lunch and dinner there, like for free.
Yeah,
And that guy made it possible for me. Or if I wanted to go, I had a friend, and I still his name is Mike. He owns the 45th Street rentals, like the kayak and paddle
yeah, yeah,
boards
yeah.
in Ocean City, 45th Street, close to Secrets. That guy gave me always food. He gave me drinks, and he let me use whatever paddle boards or kayaks I wanted. The same time in Secrets, I never had to pee. Like I never had. Did I say pee? I'm so sorry.
What?
Yeah, I never had to pay like in Secrets to
Oh,
go
yeah.
in, or I never had to pay for drinks in Secrets because every bartender was taking care of me. So the whole Ocean City, I became a local that summer.
Mm. And
I want,
I think
yeah,
I think though is you're saying how you were lucky to meet all these people. You met the kindest
yeah,
people, and I'm obviously there are some assholes, but I would say that you didn't necessarily meet anyone kind. You met the average American. You met the average person who respects hard work. They respect that you're coming from a background that isn't the same as ours. And
yeah,
I think you probably could have gone to any city and gotten a job, and you would have met a Tommy. You would have met a Rob. You
yeah,
probably would have.
probably,
And
yeah, probably.
I can say that, obviously I love this place,
But
but
it's very hard to meet Angela. Don't forget.
Angela is another character. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Angela, relax. Hey, who fucking kicked those kids out? Get Angela.
I,
Who kicked
I
down the
used I
door?
used I don't know if I should say that, but whatever.
No,
We
he
used to
doesn't give a
charge
shit.
the kids. You remember the kids that used to come after 9 and they
Yeah.
didn't have a wristband?
Yeah, yeah, we charge them wristbands. Yeah, yeah. They're underage, they're drinking. Yeah, we'll look the other way. Buy a fucking
Yeah.
wristband, man. Yeah. Dude, I always
We charge for wristbands. So
yeah.
I charged one night so many wristbands. When I came the next morning to him with that money, he got crazy. He told me, "What the fuck you doing? Do you know that this guy's never gonna come back here?" But I told him, "You told me to
He
charge,
told
bro.
me to
Like,
do it.
you told me to do. I just did my job right."
I remember I think it was like the day I met you. And that's what it was. Is Angelo was telling me what to do. Tom, you're gonna do this, you're gonna teach Prince. I'm like, what's up, Prince? I'm Tommy. Going on. I remember he looked at you and he goes, and you protect Tommy. And I was like, yeah, all right. And I remember we went to like the third or fourth floor or something, and there are these underage kids drinking or something, right? And at the
Yeah.
time, I was 24. Prince, I think you must have
I
been
was I
22.
was 21, just
Or
turned
21. Okay.
21 that time. Yeah.
But there are these fucking shithole kids. They're like 14, 15, just real assholes. And they're drinking. That's fine, man. I remember being young and drinking. And so I was trying to be like the cool adult. We went up there and if somebody was drinking too loud, we'd go knock on the door. We'd be like, hey man, we know you're drinking. We don't care, but you can't be loud or they're gonna call the cops. And if they call the cops, Angela's gonna throw you under the bus. But if you just be cool, like we'll be cool. And most people will be like,
Yeah.
thank you so much, dude. They'd hide
Yeah.
the alcohol. We'll be like, dude, we know you have out.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just be cool. And they would all be cool. We tell them to be quiet. But I just remember this one kid. We opened the door. We're like, hey, man, like, we know you're drinking, dude. We want you guys to have fun. I remember when I was your age. I want you guys to just You got to be cool though. You're being really, really loud. And I remember this kid he looked at me and he goes, he put two fingers on my chest and pushed me. He was like, I think you should shut. And I was about to say, like, I don't care. You're gonna get arrested. Like, I don't give a shit. And I just remember Prince comes in behind me, and he grabs him by the shirt, and you just put him up against the fucking wall. And you go, I'll fucking kill you. And I was like,
No.
and I stopped and I looked at Prince. I go, Prince. And you go, Angelo said to protect you. I go, Angelo. I go, Prince, I'm fine. And you go, oh. He took his hand off him. I go, Prince. And you go outside. You go, he told me to protect you. I was like, I remember I looked at you. I go, Prince, I love the energy. Not that much. You go, I'm so sorry. And you go to the kid, you go, I'm so sorry. And the kid's like panting. And I go, hey man, Prince was just kidding. He's not from here. He's like, dude, we'll stop drinking. I was like, oh Jesus. And we were outside. I was like, Prince. I go, Prince, I just pull it back just a little bit. You're like, pull it back a little bit. I was like, all right, I love you. I give you a hug. And I was like, all right, we're good. But that's Prince. That's the immigrant mentality. I knock on the door. I say, stop drinking, and Prince is ready for war. But that's the mentality, man. And I don't say that story. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I don't say that story in like I'm making fun of you. It's just like, but to me, that's a microcosm. Is you're given a task, and you jump. You know, Angelo says sell bands. You sell all the fucking bands. They say work. You work until you can't stand. And Ellie, I have to go give you a piece of pizza. But I think that is back to what you said. Outwork everyone. They're gonna work 8. I'm gonna work 16. And that is the mentality. And that's why I have so much respect and love for you, man, is because, that's what you did. And I also tell that story because it's the statute of limitations is 7 years and it's been 9 years. We can tell that story now. You're not going to get in trouble about, trying to kill a kid. But yeah, man, that's I think maybe my fondest story of you is I'll fucking kill you. I was like, Prince, no.
No, but that was probably from the lack of English in general, and
I think that too. Absolutely, absolutely.
Like I wouldn't use that words today. Like I
No.
I never thought of killing him. You know
Of
what
course,
I mean?
no.
Like
No, of course, no. That much. If I thought you were actually going to kill him, I fucking would have been like, Angelo, you got to get rid. No, it was.
Like it was a lack of English, and
English
like
was severely limited.
You learn,
You probably kill. I thought kill meant like, hey, stop it, and you're like, I'm going to kill you.
Stop it, bro.
No. Of course,
you don't touch my friend. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Of course, I don't mean to make Prince sound like a murderer. Of course not. It's. But I just remembered that. But it was just, where someone else might look at that and say that's not good. I look at it and I go, no. I love that. Is you fucking dial it up to 11. You're given a task and you do it to completion. And that is why you are where you are, is because you just outwork everyone. Your English isn't as good. All right, work twice as hard. And to me, that's what's so inspiring. And it's what you said beforehand is, and when maybe I didn't realize we're at an hour, so we'll kind of wrap it up. But is people here take advantage and take for granted what they have. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy it. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't enjoy the love and the freedom of the United States. But you do need to remember exactly what we have. And that when people start saying this place sucks, hey, America's got problems. It's got healthcare is too much money. There are too many shootings. Of course there are.
But less problems than every other
anywhere
country
else.
In the world.
And that's my argument always. We have problems, yes. You find me another patch of land on this planet with less problems, I'll suck your dick. They don't exist.
Go to Venezuela.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's, that's right, Venezuela.
Cuba.
Yeah, exactly. And there are problems everywhere. You're never going to find a place without problems. And that doesn't mean we shouldn't try to fix those problems. But I don't think it is a prudent move to dismantle the United States because it has a couple of problems. Instead, we should look at it and go, it's pretty perfect, and there's still room for improvement.
How we can help to improve it, and even the help starts from us, like from everyday people, from you that have a couple of listeners, that put something out there, like like Elon Musk. Commented on your tweet like a couple days ago because of something,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how it starts.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, do you have a lot of politicians on this podcast and stuff like this?
there's like two guys I have. I don't have on a lot of politics. I'm trying to this year. I've tried to steer a little more away from politics because
Okay.
I'm starting to realize people who have their beliefs and agree with me are going to agree with me, and those who disagree are going to disagree with me, and no one's going to change their mind. So it's kind of
Yeah,
a
but
waste of time.
how the things change then? Like, what's the way of changing things? If they agree this way or they don't agree, where's the middle?
Well,
I
the middle to me is instead having on guests and talking about it, like we did earlier when we talked about Ukraine, is far
Yeah,
more valuable than having on a politician is to sit here and
yeah,
admit humility. And when you admit humility, right, you can lead by
yeah.
example. If you admit to
Understand.
humility and say, I was wrong, that might get, I've had people tell me after a show, they're like, hey man, thanks for admitting you were wrong. Like that made me realize like, hey, maybe I can admit I'm wrong or something. And when I admit that I'm wrong or incorrect, and then the other person doesn't say, ha, I told you. Instead you go, yeah, that's fine, man. Let's talk. Everyone realizes it's okay to say I was wrong. But when no one's willing to say
Mm,
I'm wrong or that I'm learning, we all put up these defensive barriers. We go, fuck you, I'm going to vote Trump. Fuck you, I'm going to vote Biden. We don't get anywhere. But instead, if
yeah,
you can talk, and to me, this is far more valuable than having on politicians, is instead just talking
that's
about the
amazing.
human aspect of it, right? Is you and
Yeah.
I talking about sneakers and apples and wristbands. Like
Hmm.
you're going to find much more humanity in there
Yeah,
than anywhere
yeah.
else. And that's so,
And
yeah,
one thing I want everybody to know, like Tom is one of the guys that teased me about mental health. Like Tom is one of the guys that I learned most about mental health, and he gave me a signal that I need to know about mental health. I need to take care of my mental health, and I think he did himself. And I think what Tommy overcame in his life, it's just a blessing to me that I know him because it's a example to follow. So
I
like
appreciate you.
and it's amazing. No, I just want everybody to know. I don't know if other guys know
Yeah,
you
I talk
like
about it a
I
lot.
do in some ways, but still I don't have the chance to watch all your podcasts. I watch some of them sometimes.
No one can watch
Sometimes
all of them. You can't watch all
yeah,
of them. Too many.
yeah, probably Trish and your dad doesn't watch them all.
I think my mom watches them all. I think she's the only person that watches them all. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but in general, like like this is what I'm thinking. Do you understand what I'm trying?
yeah,
I'm thinking like, and because mental health wasn't that popular in 2014, like in Kosovo, or I just didn't know a lot about mental health
mm,
back in 2014 and 2015 and 16, where I think he was going through a phase.
that was the
uh,
worst for me. Yeah, so you and I became friends 2014 and
14.
yeah, so
I
my
think
bro my
14, 15, and 16, how I saw it from Facebook. Like,
was the worst. I was the worst. And
yeah.
so my brother took his life in April 2014. Prince and I met that summer. I don't
We
think the
met in, no, May after
May.
May, like couple days after May.
Okay, so
No,
then yeah,
no, May.
I
May.
met you like 6 weeks later then. So
Yeah.
but that whole summer, it still hadn't really hit me yet. I don't think I truly started to understand what happened to my brother until about that fall. So that's when all of the depression really hit me. And I remember you went
Yeah.
back to Kosovo and you would call me and you'd email me, never pick up. And you were like, are you mad at me? And it was just, no, I was going through the work. And it lasted for like 2 years, man. I got,
And I knew, but I never stopped calling. I never
yeah,
stopped texting. Like the idea
yeah,
was like, hey, this guy is going through a hard phase because I could see that.
yeah,
I could see that from the past, from
yeah.
everything. But I just wanted you to know that you loved, and I keep texting and
Thank you.
everything. So I keep putting a text here and then. So
And yeah, and I remember my brother would tell
Mm.
me, he'd be like, dude, Prince is trying to call you. And I was just so fucked up and I was
Yeah,
just so upset. And I remember I didn't want to talk to anyone. And I remember it was like 2 years
Mm.
later, maybe 3 years later, I think you messaged me and you were like, Tommy, like you're looking a lot better. And it
yeah.
was, it was, you say it's a blessing that you met my family, but no, man, I think it's an equal blessing that I met you and I met someone who, despite it being 6 weeks after the worst event of my life, then I meet someone who is so grateful to be here. And,
Mm.
you don't take my word for it. You can go back through these episodes. You'll find me mentioning Prince probably on 20 separate episodes over the years.
I
from
didn't know that. I never heard my
I
name, so
do.
I'm very
I've
glad.
mentioned
I'm
Prince and I've
so
mentioned Ivan. Yeah, no, I do.
Ivan. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know
And
you used to talk a lot about
Ivan.
Ivan when we
Yeah.
met. So
Yeah.
Ivan.
I'm trying to get Ivan. I've been trying to get Ivan on here for a couple of years. He's a bodybuilder out in Vegas. And but the same thing, man. I really do look at it as a blessing to meet you guys is you have instilled a gratitude I have for this country that it's easy to forget when you're born and raised here. It's easy to forget. You take it for yeah, it's just what it is, and you forget
Yeah,
that for all of its problems, and there are many, it's the least problematic place in the world. And
100%.
no, it's not perfect, but it's the best we have, and we can improve on it. And I think that's the real takeaway from this. So, but Prince, we're coming up on exactly 1 hour, so let's wrap this up.
Beautiful.
I'll text you the episode, and
Please.
I'd love to have you on again sometime, man.
100%. I just wanted to know if you remember when we used to listen to Albanian songs.
Yes, yes, I
Yes,
do. I just,
yes. And in your car, in your Honda
yeah, yeah,
Civic.
yeah.
It
No, I
was a
still have
Honda.
it. Honda Civic, still have it. Yeah, yeah,
I
no,
had the Honda Civic when I first came in America. So
yeah, yeah. Prince and I would drive around Ocean City just blasting Albanian like
yeah,
EDM music at 4 in the morning.
Albanian folk music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, da, da, yeah. It's fucking great, man. I
Yeah.
remember. I do remember one funny story is it was like you and I had. I think we were watching soccer at my parents' house, and then we went and
Something. We had dinner sandwiches. I never
yeah,
forget.
yeah, yeah,
Pulled pork sandwiches.
yeah, yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
9 years it's
yeah,
been,
yeah. And
bro.
I remember we were going to work that night, and Prince and I, our job would start at like 8 or 9 p.m. So we're driving into Ocean City at night, and I remember Prince was so tired, so I was like, and we were with my little brother, and we went to get some coffee, and me and him both got little coffees. And I don't think you had like never been at Starbucks before. So Prince ordered like 3 espresso shots or something. And I remember you drinking them, and all night at work, you just weren't talking at all. You were just shaking. And you're like, I was like, Prince, that was like 900 milligrams
That
of
was
caffeine.
crazy times. That great. Don't anybody don't do that.
Don't do that. It was
Like
bad, 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 bad. But I just remember
bad,
Prince was
very
just,
bad.
he was like, oh, it's like, you all right? And you were like, oh, I was like, you a little anxious, and you're like, and I was like, it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass, buddy. It's gonna pass.
Yeah. And I have to thank you today for
Yeah.
that you could keep up with my English that time.
No,
Like
dude. No,
no words at all.
no, man.
My friend, can you please help me here?
Yeah, yeah, no, that was yeah. I knew I'd be like, dude, you need food. You'd be like, when'd you last eat? And you're like, Tuesday. I was like, it's Thursday. Elliot's
No,
like,
no,
Elliot's like, I'm gonna
the
go get him some.
play.
I'm gonna go get him some pizza. You just,
Something.
you're like, this is so good, and we were like, it's all right, man. Just
But
take a seat.
I feel humiliated.
Yeah, no, dude, it's fucking great, man. But Prince,
No,
dude,
no, it's nice,
from the
nice.
bottom of my heart, Prince, I love you, man. I always love you, and you always have a place with us. And it's an honor to call you an American Prince. Thank you.
Thank you, Tommy. I thank you very much. I thank all your family, and I want to thank every listener that took the time and listened to us. Like, sorry again for my English,
Oh,
and thank
shut
you,
up,
everyone, very, very much.
Prince.
Thank you, guys.
Your English is beautiful. I'll hear nothing of it. Prince, I love you, brother. We'll do it again sometime. Thank you so much for your time.